Hi, this is Cameron back again with another Canada Rocks video from 1960s to early 1970s. This time I'm starting with the letter G and working my way up to the letter O. And so there'll be at least one more video to finish off the alphabet, bands that start with these different letters. So to get started, there's a band on Periwinkle Records called the Andy Greatrix or Greatrix Harmony Band. And they're sort of a classic rock band that do covers of Yesterday by the Beatles, do Hound Dog, they do Listen to the Music of Three Dog Night, plus they do some of their own songs. Oh, I see they also do a Chris Christopherson song and a Dominic Triona song, I Can Hear You Calling. So let me show you the album, and then I'll show you the label. Then the label. Periwinkle Records was a Canadian label. I think that hippie DJ Kit showed an album on Periwinkle last time, a prog rock band called The Jackal, or just Jackal, I think. Anyways, here's Periwinkle label. Okay, so that was the Andy Greatrix Harmony Band, and on YouTube it's been uploaded, and it looks like it's by the son, and it's got comments by the grandchildren of Andy Greatrix. So quite interesting. Okay, then comes folk rock band led by Ian and Sylvia Tyson, The Great Speckled Bird. And this one is from 1970. So the Andy Greatrix from 1973, if I forgot to mention that, and Great Speckled Birds from 1970. So I guess as the Birds and Flying Burrito Brothers were inventing country rock, Ian and Sylvia Tyson decided to put out their own. This is a gatefold. This is on Bearsville Records, so that's the Todd Rundgren label. Okay, out of my city, Winnipeg, Canada, is the Guess Who. I'm not sure if this one was released in the States or not. It's one of their last ones before they became really popular in North America. The Guess Who, Wheatfield Soul from 1969. This is about their 5th album. But as I said, they were largely centered in Canada, focused in Canada at that time. Next up, a Quebec-based prog rock band. I've got a couple of their later albums, which I'll show maybe in a video of the mid to late 70s Canadian rock. But anyways, this one came out in 1974. It's Harmonium on Celebration Records. I'm almost certain this has been re-released on their Celebration label, on CD. Then on Eva Records, reissue of The Haunted, collects their singles from 1966 to 68. Now I showed 2 Rough Diamond collections of The Haunted, so they're out of Montreal, Quebec. This one is a French song that they sang, so most of their singing is in English, but Vapeur Mauve, Purple Haze, a French cover of Jimi Hendrix. Okay, and maybe I'll do a feature on Eva reissues in the future, because there's lots of great stuff like Mouse and the Traps and 13th floor, or not 13th floor elevators, Mouse and the Traps, The Seeds, all sorts of great psych and garage band music. It was reissued in France on the Eva label in the 1980s. Okay, next up, folk rock, or folk, actually, Ian and Sylvia Tyson, Northern Journey from 1964. This is a bit of a beat-up copy from the thrift shops. I've had a chance to see both Ian and Sylvia Tyson play live. Ian Tyson plays traditional country music live. Ian and Sylvia play more of a folk rock. I think that Sylvia Tyson's played with some other Canadian folk artists in a band called, was it Quartet? I believe so. Could be wrong. Okay, and then another one, Ian and Sylvia, So Much for Dreaming. This came out in 1966. I have it in shrink wrap. This is one I believe that Hippie DJ Kit showed. JK and Company, Suddenly One Summer. This came out in 1969. It's some psych rock from Canada as well. So these are all Canadian bands. Another hard rock, a little bit of psych influence, Lee Ashford, Kinfolk. I have two copies. My nicer one I just couldn't find, so this is a little bit more of a beat-up copy. Hard rock, 1969. Or no, wait, 1971, excuse me. Folds up. Here's the back. On RCA Victor. Mine's a radio issue from CKDM Records, or CKDM station. Now, here's a Sinners album, and I know that Hippie DJ Kit showed one, and I think it's the same one, but on a different label. This is Les Sinnerisms on Jupiter Records. So I think his might be on a different label. I'll show the label. That's from 1966, I believe. No, 1967. Sorry, it's Garage Rock from Quebec. Then here's a later album of theirs from 1975. Just has a question mark. It's also on Celebration Records. Or no, it's on Sorry. We'll take a look in a second. So the other one was on Jupiter. This is from 1975. Yeah, Celebration Records. Then some folk rock. On Yorkville Records, 1967, Gordon Lowe featuring Laurel Ward, Prisms. So last time I showed a compilation album of Yorkville, the Yorkville Evolution. Here's the Yorkville label. Then on, let's just see what label. This is on Tuesday label. Madrigal, Sunshine and Baked Beans. This is some country rock from 1970. This is a record library copy on 960. It doesn't say the name of the record station or the radio station. Let's see if we can look at the label. Tuesday Records. I got this from Peter Dunn's Vinyl Museum in Hamilton, Ontario. Here's his inner sleeve that he always puts on all of his records. I don't know if the store is still around. It's in Toronto and Hamilton. But I got these in the mid-80s. Another band, Mashmakan, The Family. This came out in 1971. They played on the train tour that featured Janis Joplin and Mashmakan, Buddy Guy. I don't remember if the band is on that tour or not, too. Anyways, they went to Calgary, or Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, and Calgary, I believe. And they landed in Winnipeg on July 1st. It's an infamous concert where they had lots of booze because it was funded by the Thompson family, which is one of the billionaire families in Canada, which now own the Jets in Winnipeg for hockey. Anyways, at that time, he was a young multimillionaire or billionaire, and he was into rock and roll, and he funded this tour throughout part of Canada, and it featured Janis Joplin and other big names at the time, including Mashmakan. And you can see that in a documentary video that was made about 5 to 10 years ago. Here's Ray Materik, which is folk rock. This came out in 1972. And there's a gatefold with the lyrics. This is on Kanata label. Okay, then I've seen some people like Vinyl in the Van feature Neil Merriweather. So Neil Merriweather was born in Winnipeg, my city, Canada, but then spent a lot of time in Toronto, played with the Minor Birds. I don't know if he was there when Neil Young was part of the Minor Birds or if it was a later version. Played in a lot of other Toronto-based rock bands and then went on his own. Features psych rock. So this is Merriweather from, I believe, 1969. It's psych rock. Mine's a little bit of a beat-up copy from 1969. Then another Neil Merriweather, this time with a woman by the last name of Carey, Vacuum Cleaner. This came out in 1971. So I see that he's still putting out albums today. So somebody to look out for. And then Neil Merriweather's Space Rangers. This came out in 1974. So these were largely, most of these albums I got in bargain bins because I guess at one time they were quite common in Canada. Next up from 1971, SOS by Jacques Michel, which is sort of a folk rock from, I believe, from Quebec. And the label is Disques Total. Then a later album by Jacques Michel called Ma Nouvelle Saison. This is from, I believe, 1975, so it's getting us a little past the period of this video. I have other harmonium albums too, but I'll have to show them in a future video, which gets beyond this early 70s, late 60s period. Now this is supposed to be a hard-to-find album from Canada called Mill Supply, which is sort of a folk psych from 1971 on Crescent Street Records. I I have Laurie Zimmerman also on Crescent Street. These were, in the mid-80s, these were available in bargain bins. I believe I got this sealed, like Laurie Zimmerman too. They did not have an inner sleeve, so I'll have to get one on it. Crescent Street. Moonquake to some hard rock from 1973. Again, it looks like this was a radio station album. It's in a bit poor condition cover. It's hard rock from 1973 on Gamma Records. More popular band, Mother Lode, When I Die, on Revolver Records. This is from 1969. I believe Lee Ashford was also on Revolver Records. Here's the label. More of a gospel folk rock band. 1971. Ocean, Put Your Hand in the Hand, on Yorkville Records. So this is a later Yorkville issue. Then finally, the original cast, One Tin Soldier, 1969. On Bell Records. So that's it for the part 3 of Canada Rocks. Please go back and watch the first 2 videos if you want to see some more Canadian albums from the 60s and early 70s. And please leave your comments below. I challenge you to, or encourage you to make your own video of Canadian rock from the 60s and early 70s. And please subscribe. Have a good day. Bye-bye.